Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. And today, as we move backwards through the alphabet, having just done Maynard, we have a whole video devoted to the Finnish composer Levi Madetoja. An interesting guy. Yes, his entire life, he lived from 1887 to 1947. Did not have the longest life. And it was entirely encompassed within the lifetime of Sibelius. So he was a contemporary of Sibelius, but he was a composer of substance. Best known for his operas, actually. And they are really beautiful works, excellent works, and 3 symphonies and other orchestral pieces that are worth discovering. 2 of the symphonies are masterpieces. They really are. He was a serious composer, not a fast worker. His output isn't huge, but and not all of it is of equal quality. He's a Kleinmeister, as they say in German, a small master, just because of the amount of, what he did, but a master nonetheless. You forget about the Klein and just leave the Meister, because he wrote some Meister pieces, and I've got most of, the individual things upstairs, but I've got a few down here. Good clump of stuff, actually. It's nice to see how much attention he got, because there were record labels in Finland and they could start recording his stuff. So here we have, this is Finlandia, which is now Warner. All that stuff's disappearing. I wish Warner would do something with all of its Finnish music. Do a Finland box and just throw it all out there, and then we could talk about it for the rest of our lives. You've got all 3 symphonies and his comedy overture, which has not a shred of humor in it that I was able to detect. It's not his best work. The Kullervo symphonic poem, opus 15, young and romantic. And, Kullervo, the story from the Sibelius Symphony. And others have done, operas and things based on his life. Aulis Salonen did a Kullervo opera, which I don't think was one of his best, actually. And then we've got the Ostrobothnians suite. That's an opera. We'll get to that shortly. And O Con Fuoco suite. Well, that's a ballet pantomime, which we'll get to right now. These are very good performances. You've got Jukka-Pekka Saaraste is the conductor with various orchestras. And the performances are all very, very decent. Then we've got O Con Fuoco, opus 58, the complete ballet pantomime music. It's a choral ballet. It's got singing. This is on the Alba label. It's the world premiere recording. Let's see who's doing it. With the Oulu Chamber Choir, the Oulu Symphony Orchestra, under Arvo Volmer, who does a lot of work for Alba Records. A good label, Estonian label, actually. So that's worth hearing. If you're into ballet pantomime things with people yelling at you in Finnish, why not? And then what's this? Oh, Symphonies 2 and 3. With the Tampere Philharmonic under Paavo Arautio, and the 3rd Symphony with Jorma Panula and the Helsinki Philharmonic. The 3rd, well, the 2nd is 1918. It's a wartime piece, and it's really, really beautiful, romantic. If you like Sibelius, like the 1st and 2nd Symphonies, you're really going to like Madetoja's 2nd Symphony. The 1st is a little immature. It's nice. It's fun to listen to, but it doesn't, it's not a major statement. The 2nd really is. And the 3rd shows the influence of sort of French neoclassicism. It's very refined. It has wonderful tunes. It pastoral ambience in the 3rd movement. It really, which is a very developmental scherzo, and then a sort of moderate finale that's kind of a waltz, and it ends quietly. It's a very distinctive piece. They're both worth hearing, I'm telling you. That was on Finlandia as well. And then we've got Symphony No. 1 and Kullervo, also on Finlandia. Leif Segerstam is doing this stuff. And let's see, the O Con Fuoco suite is back, and the comedy overture, which isn't funny here either. So there you go. Chandos, yes. They had the Iceland Symphony under Petri Sakari doing the complete symphonies. Decent performances, not as great as the best of them. They just aren't, but it's not terrible. And the comedy overture, which still isn't funny. The suite No. 1 from O Con Fuoco and suite from the Ostrobothnians. It's a good way to get all this stuff together. You got to turn it up. It's a little bit diffuse sonically. It's the Iceland Symphony. They're a small band. but they play well, and you know, or Sakari knows the stuff, so you know what's not to like. Then the Comedy Overture with Jorma Pandola. I think we did this already. Yes, these are in Segerstam. This is all this stuff. This is a Warner Apex mid-price reissue that has all the same stuff that we've talked about. It's derived from that. So the Comedy Overture is still not funny. The Second Symphony with Paavo Rautio and the Tampere Philharmonic is quite good. Kullervo with Leif Segerstam is excellent. And you can get, if you could find this, you can get it that way, if you feel like it. Then we come to the two operas. Okay, you ready? First, the Ostrobothnians. Opera in 3 acts. And you also get the suite. This is on Finlandia. It's a live recording, and it's really lovely music. It's about Ostrobothnians. I mean, what happens to the Ostrobothnians? I don't, you know, they don't get along always, but it's a wonderful cast. You've got Jorma Hynninen and Ritva-Liisa Korhonen. I don't know this. A bunch of solos. Monica Group, okay, you know who she is. And Peter Mekala, you may know. And it's Jukka-Pekka Saraste with the Finnish Radio Symphony. So it is a fine opera. Of the, what you might call romantic nationalist sort of thing, like Janacek's Jennifer, that kind of stuff. Well written, full of good tunes, nicely scored, and, you know, not his most famous one, though. His most famous one was this one, Juha. Now, Juha seemed to be a popular topic because it was set also by, who was it? Vaino Raitio, I think was the other guy. Who, not Raitio or what's his name? Oh, I don't know. There's another Juha sitting out there that we'll get to because it's who did it? I can't believe I can't remember. Anyway, that one was the more popular one because the style was very, very Puccini-esque. And this one is more sort of neoclassical. It's a love triangle story. You know, Juha is a farmer. He's in love with what's her name. What's her name's in love with somebody else. They have a fight. Someone gets shot. Someone gets killed. This story doesn't matter. It's a good opera. It's a very good opera. Very different sounding from the other Juha. That's what you need. Maricanto. I'm sorry. There we go. Are Maricanto. Thank you. Before you all write in, and I mean, you should be thrilled that I keep all these people straight in the first place. Never mind remembering them all at the tip of my tongue here, you know? So that's the Juha that sort of displaced this Juha in the Juha sweepstakes. But it didn't deserve to displace this Juha because it's not as emotionally overwhelming as Maricanto's Juha. It's not as romantically yummy, but it's still very good, serious opera that deserves to be performed and listened to and enjoyed at home in the comfort and convenience of your own listening room, where you can have an entire Juha shelf and go crazy with your Juhas. So there you have it. Yahoo! It's Juha, right? You got it. What was this guy's name? See, I don't even remember. Madetoja, Maricanto. I mean, we did Maricanto already, right? Rather recently, actually. Before we got to Mahler. So, yeah, we talked about him too. But this is good stuff by a good composer, some of whose music at least deserves to be part of your collection, I think. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.